Hi, I'm Sarah DeCiccio, founder of Finding Your Well Spot. I'm a certified holistic health coach, and I'm also partnered with USANA Health Sciences. And today my little helper is, come up.
Bum, bum, bum. Surprise!
Today.
Hi, I'm Brielle. I love you.
Okay. So what are we making today? Do you remember?
Sauce.
We're making sauce. We're making a dairy-free cheese sauce. So before my family and I went dairy-free, we loved cheese sauces, didn't we? We used to love macaroni and cheese. I used to love cheese on all my vegetables, but unfortunately, dairy does not mix with our tummies very well. So when we decided to go dairy-free, the one thing we really missed was cheese and cheese sauces. So we came up with a delicious recipe that is a great substitute, and my friend Amber was a big part in this, who made this recipe so delicious. And it's made out of butternut squash. This is butternut squash, which is eating raw right now. So butternut squash is super nutritious, and you're still going to have that cheesy type of taste to it.
It's hard to bite.
Hard to bite, but you're also going to get way more nutrition out of it. Okay, shh, not so loud. So some people, they think that they may not have a problem with dairy when really they do. So remember when we were talking about dairy last time, if you're getting a lot of adult acne, or even as a teenager, some of it could be hormone related, but it also could be dairy related as well. Also, looking at your stools, I know we're cooking right now, but you could tell a lot from your poop whether or not you are actually digesting your food properly. So if you eat a lot of dairy and you end up going to the bathroom right away, you get really bloated.
Stay healthy forever.
You get bloated, you get gassy. If your stools are loose, or they're not that banana type shape, or they're not the walnut color, if they're lighter in color, if they're yellow or green more in color, then you know you're not absorbing your nutrients. You know that that stuff is just going right through you. So dairy may not be your friend, even though you're not having like an allergic reaction to it, but sometimes the signs are so subtle that people aren't picking up on it, that maybe your body's not loving dairy.
This is so yummy.
And trust me, I wish I could eat dairy every day. It's one thing I would love to go back in my diet, but I feel so great off of it that that's my motivation to stay off of it and come up with new and creative recipes. So that's what this cheese sauce is all about today. So right now, we are starting with onions and carrots. So we're frying them up in ghee. If you don't know what ghee is, it's clarified butter. So it smells like butter, it tastes like butter, but clarified butter just basically means they take out all the milk solids, which has most of the lactose and casein in it, and that's what most people are reacting to or have an allergic reaction to. So if you get pure ghee, that is something that you can use in your cooking. It cooks at high temperatures. It tastes great on popcorn if you love popcorn. So we use ghee a lot in our family. The best way to buy it, of course, is in a glass jar. You'll find it at most groceries, well, not most grocery stores, some grocery stores, in the fridge section, but you could also find it in plastic. Again, I don't recommend plastic, but for cost-effective wise, sometimes we just buy the plastic because it gets expensive sometimes when you're constantly buying ghee in a glass jar. But that is the way to buy it if you can afford it that way. So right now we took about 2 tablespoons of ghee. We have some onion in there, a small carrot all diced up, and we've been frying that up. Now you can either use real chopped garlic afterwards, or you can actually use granulated garlic if that's all you have, and you're going to fry that up. Once that starts cooking, you're going to add in your butternut squash. If you don't know what a butternut squash looks like or how to cut it up, at some point in this video I'm going to show you exactly what I did, so you know how to do that. And then later on, we're going to add in nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast you can find pretty much at any grocery store now. It might be in your health food aisle. It's where most of this Bob's Red Mill brand, if you can find that section, you'll find the nutritional yeast. It is great if you're vegan, or again, if you're trying to stay away from dairy, because it will add a cheesy flavor to anything that you're making. So you can sprinkle it right on your vegetables if you want. I use this a lot in like cream soups to get that cheesiness.
I'll show you my egg that I made.
And we also are going to use it in our cheese sauce today because, again, it's going to add that cheesy flavor to it. And then after that, we're going to add a can of full-fat coconut milk to it to just give it that sauciness.
Here's my egg that I made.
Beautiful. They love it. And then we're going to just add in some real salt.
Right here.
Okay, Brielle. Beautiful. some real salt, and then we're gonna add in some ground mustard, and then we're gonna add in a little bit of this kind of mustard as well to give it a little tang to it. And then once that's all cooked up, we're gonna blend it. So right now we're just finishing up our onions, carrots, and garlic. We're now gonna add in our butternut squash to the mix. Careful, don't burn yourself. Thank you.
It burned me a little bit.
No, be careful. And we're gonna cook that up for a while until everything gets soft. We're gonna add the coconut milk in a little bit, and you're gonna add in your nutritional yeast. I like to cook that up with it.
Dump that in.
Oh, sorry, Angel. And then we'll come back and we'll show you what it looks like in just a bit.
Yeah, I love you. Please.
Hi, we're back. So we're making today a dairy-free cheese sauce because it's one thing that I know my family and I miss a lot is having cheese, because that used to be one of our favorite things. So we're making a dairy-free cheese sauce out of butternut squash, and my kids love it. My husband even eats it, and I love it too. I eat it on everything because I used to eat cheese on all my vegetables. That's the way I used to get him into me when I was a kid, and I'm still kind of that way as an adult. So I love to have some sort of cheese sauce. So we let it cook all the way through until the butternut squash was nice and soft. Then we put it in a high-speed blender. And remember when you are blending hot things that you're going to need to leave like a little air vent, because of course hot things expand and you don't want it to be blowing up. So I have a little flippy thing here. I leave it open, and then I just use like paper towel or something to cover it a little bit, just so it doesn't spray anywhere. But you need some kind of venting system just so it doesn't explode everywhere. So I blended this up really good, nice and smooth. If you don't have a high-speed blender, see how nice and smooth that is? You're just going to be spending more time blending. That's it. So you don't need to have the best blender, but you're just going to spend a little bit more time blending, that's all. So I like to make it nice and smooth, and then you can see we have quite a bit of cheese sauce. We're not going to use all of it, so what I like to do, I use like these little mason jars. I will freeze it in these mason jars. You just don't want to fill it up right to the top, because again, you want some room for expansion, and then that way your glass jars won't bust open. So I just fill a bunch of these babies up. I keep one in the fridge, the rest I'll put in the freezer, and then anytime we need some cheese sauce, then it's already made. Super inexpensive. Again, this is cheaper than buying cheese or making your own cheese sauce, and it's healthier. So even if you don't have a dairy allergy or intolerance, but you're looking to eat maybe healthier foods, because again, dairy causes lots of inflammation in the body, just naturally it does that, including lots of grains. It's the same thing, not saying grains are unhealthy, it just causes inflammation in the body. So if you want to reduce the inflammation in the body, this is another go-to recipe to go to. Instead of using dairy, as in cheese, you could use the butternut squash instead. And then this way you're even getting more healthy vegetables into your kids. So if you're doing mac and cheese, then of course you can use this, and if they eat it, then they're getting all that wonderful good nutrients out of it. And there's good healthy fats from the coconut milk. Don't be afraid of that if you're trying to lose weight. Remember, you need fat to lose fat, and it's going to keep you satiated, and it's going to just basically take away all your cravings. So one of my favorite recipes right there. Again, don't forget to follow me on Facebook at Sarah DeCiccio, Finding Your Well Spot. You can sign up for my emails, which I will leave a link at the end of this video. You could also find me on Instagram as well, and on the YouTube channel, Sarah DeCiccio, Finding Your Well Spot. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys all next week.